Okay, part two of Don't Ever Give Up Hope. Now, I don't know how much I want to go into this today. I actually managed to get most of the things I wanted to in the short today, but I got to do the long form to appease the algorithm. I'm half joking, but also half not joking. I found just as anyone who is working as a content creator that since I started doing both the short and the long form, my numbers have been doing way better than ever. And I'm not sure if it's just because I'm finally picking up momentum and people are starting to resonate, but needless to say, it reinforced my hope. So, um, I do my best to include both a short and a long every day. Now, the other half of it is I just love rambling. I'm a rambling man. And I know, especially in the shorts, some of this can seem like empty platitudes, right? There's so much of that positivity grifting, especially in like the manosphere bullshit. So that's really the real reason why I continue to do these longs, right? I want to provide a little more substance than I can do in 3 minutes, some actionable advice, often related to some of my own experiences, right? This isn't just some bullshit alpha bro talk shit. I hate alpha bros and beta bros and sigma bros. Try and guess which one I am. All right. So, what I really want to say about hope is it can be hard to see it through all the bullshit sometimes. And I think that's often because we frame either our situation or ourselves incorrectly, right? There is always hope, but you may not, there may not be the hope that you want there to be. Does that make any sense, right? If you sound like a dying cow, there is no hope that you are going to be the next American Idol, right? I've seen some absolutely abysmal American Idol auditions. I don't really watch TV, but my mom liked to watch that American Idol stuff. Sometimes I'd sit with her on the couch for a little bit, watch some of those things, and man, people would come up. It'd be like, "Oh yeah, all my friends say I'm the next Beyonce," and then it's like the worst audition you've seen that season, and it's like, so one, either your friends are hilarious or you need new friends because, like, right, we've all got those jokes we have with our friends where we'll go like kind of bust each other's balls a little bit, maybe a little bit of oh yeah, yeah, you got the, like, I don't even know what to say specifically, but we've all got those like jokes kind of where we toy with each other if we've got good close friends like that a little bit. So I'm not sure if like her friends were joking with her and she just didn't get it, or if it was like an inside joke within the friend group, or if she just has really bad friends that were like gassing her up instead of holding her accountable. Uh, I don't remember if she specifically said she was the next Beyonce, but there was one image I'm flashing back to of this person that got up there and they were so confident and so terrible and talked about how all their friends said they were the greatest. I was like, You have terrible friends, whether it's terrible friends in the good way or terrible friends in the bad way, and that they weren't holding you accountable, or terrible friends in the good way and that they were kind of trolling you and maybe pulling a little bit of a prank on you to get you to go up and do that. But uh, get better friends. And the point of this relating back to hope is I like doing that, leaving you guys hanging randomly. Uh, that she had no hope of being the next Beyonce or whoever it was she said she was going to be. What she might have a hope though is if she loves that music that much and has that much confidence, maybe she could be the next big music promoter or even a producer or something like that, right? Or with that kind of confidence, maybe she could be a great actress. I saw something about this one rapper. I don't really remember who she was. I don't really know her. I wasn't super into hip hop back then. It was just more like a tangential thing for me. I haven't gotten into hip hop, and I didn't really get into hip hop until like 2016 again or so, 2016, 2018, around there. But back in 2009, that was like the most notorious VMA of all time. I'm actually not talking about the Ye Swift moment. I'm talking about the moment at the end where Jay-Z and Alicia Keys did their big breakout hit, Empire State of Mind, and some random low level rapper female popped up and she was like on stage with them and pissing Jay off the whole time. And people say Jay sunk her career, but if you look at it, she just stopped putting out music. So if you ask me, she sunk her own career. But the point is, she might have not really had hope of a rapper. I just saw a video on her recently, which is why this is all fresh in my mind. And I don't remember her name. If anyone remembers her name, put it in the comments, please. But she was kind of a joke as a rapper to begin with. She was making like meme rap basically and couldn't get respect from the hip hop community in general. And then once she went and did that on the VMAs, everyone was like, the ego of this woman, let's put her in her place, right? So she basically had no hope to be a legitimate hip hop star just because of the way she was carrying herself more than anything. But apparently, she's gone on to become a very successful actress and been in multiple big shows or movies since then. Not the kind of stuff that I would watch, even though I don't really watch much of anything. The kind of stuff I do watch, though, is like The Expanse or things like that. Not like, I think she was on like reality TV or dating shows or like Mean Girls or something like that. You guys know what I'm talking about though, right? But so the point is there is always hope, but it may not be the hope you want it to be. I see this a lot with relationships, right? People have this hope that their crush will like them, but their crush doesn't even know they exist, or their crush does like them, but always and only specifically as a friend, often for very specific reasons, right? And people, I think, just as powerful as true hope, false hope is very, very dangerous, right? Because in the same way that true hope will create a shield for faith and love, false hope will absolutely destroy those things. It becomes a black hole that sucks the joy and life out of everything, right? And here's the thing that I believe really drives it home, right? Men are statistically way more likely than women to commit suicide. And I think we can go into all the reasons of this, why, some other video. That's not the point of this. But what is the point of talking about suicide is that you don't reach that point unless you lose hope, right? You can lose your faith and keep going. You can have no love in your life and still keep going. But as long as you have some kind of hope, hope that things are going to get better, hope that in the end it's all going to pay off and you'll be rewarded in the next life, hope that you're going to win the lottery next month or something, whatever hope it is that you cling to, uh, hope is in the end what keeps us all going. I can tell you, as someone who has been on the precipice in the past, that the only time those thoughts really enter your mind is when you actually do lose hope. And like I said, it's not something that can really be destroyed or taken away from you. It's something that you have to let go of. It's how would I describe it? Because like hope is a purely internal thing, right? Love is a communal thing. Love is our connection to the source, our interactions with other people. Even loving yourself is somewhat external in that it is based on how you treat yourself, how you see yourself in the mirror type thing, right? Love is uh, a connective fabric to the universe. And that makes it pure, not purely, like it's anchored deep, deep within inside your very center, your very core. But the majority of love is outside of you, is greater than you, is bigger than you. Faith is kind of like a bridge between hope and love, right? You see that I feel like the most the least happy people that I see in life, they lack faith, right? They can have hope, they can have love, they can be absolutely surrounded by love, but they're still miserable. And why? It's because they don't have faith. Now, I'm not necessarily talking about a religious kind of faith. You can have secular faiths too, right? I see brilliant scientists that don't really believe in a God. They're atheists or at least agnostic, and yet they're still happy people because they have faith in scientific discovery, faith in knowledge, faith in humanity and growth and creation, right? Which I would argue is indirectly a faith in God, the same way that pagans who worship the sun and the rain are worshiping God's gifts and arguably, again, faith in God. But that's a conversation for another video. The point is, if you don't have faith in something, faith in music, faith in math, faith in a higher power than yourself, then you're not going to find happiness in life, but you'll still be able to keep going as long as you have hope. And you'll be able to achieve great things as long as you're connected to and surrounded by love. But that misery really comes from a lack of faith. Um, so faith is connectivity to the world around you, right? Love is, again, bigger than you. It surrounds you and it envelops you and it touches your core. Faith is acknowledging that connectivity and appreciating it. But hope, that is almost purely an internal thing, right? It obviously interfaces with the other two, but really your hope is your perspective and your response to your situation and how you carry yourself, you know? I think as long as you hold on to hope, even if things never get better, let's say you're dealing with something that you know is only going to get worse, as long as you find some kind of real hope to hold on to, not false hope, then you can still live a beautiful and fulfilled life. It just may not be the life you wanted, right? I think an important part of learning to hold on to hope is learning to let your ego go, right? Because if you're just always obsessed over all these things that aren't meant for you, if you just constantly chase after things that there's no hope for in your life, then you are going to endlessly destroy your chances for faith and love. But if you set aside your ego, step outside of yourself, and learn to look at the world through perspective rather than just your own limited perception, then it becomes a lot easier to find hope and hold on to it. So that's all I really wanted to say today. I've got to keep working on the house. I have like hours of taping to do because, much like the room I'm sitting in right now, the 3 rooms I'm about to go paint have baseboards, windows, and crown molding. Crown molding pisses me the fuck off. But it's here, so might as well leave it there. It looks kind of nice, right? But that means I got to tape over. I got to do like double the tape to paint the room. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'll be live again later after I run out of energy to work on the house. I'll eat dinner while I stream. I'll see you guys then. So I just want to say again, make sure you're armed and training. Delete Windows. De-Google yourself. I love all of you, and God bless America. Cheers.